Hello, everybody, and welcome back to GV Talk Sports. I'm Brock Elsesser, and I'm here with
Ryan McKnight.
Jonathan Rizzo.
Sitting between two future Hall of Famers, Mr. Dunn.
Future Hall of Famer, Mr. Horton.
Magic Johnson.
I know, I'm looking at a picture of Magic
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
I mean, he still owns the team, right? Or does he own the Dodgers? Does
He
he
owns-
own any of
He
the
owns
Lakers?
the Dodgers, I think.
Does he own any of the Lakers?
I don't
I don't think he can. Can you
Well,
do that? Can you be the president?
He wasn't
and
the
own
owner
them?
of the team.
He was the
Jeannie
general
Buss was.
manager and the president.
Yeah, and he stepped down from that, so I don't think he's of any part with the Lakers anymore.
He
Well-
just wants to go back to being Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
Which means he's going to help out with the Lakers and be there still.
Right, so he'll be a recruiter for the Lakers,
And he'll still be
but
like
he doesn't
a-
have to take the blame for bad decisions.
Yeah, but he still gets to help make the decisions because, I mean,
Well, he's Magic Johnson.
exactly.
When LeBron went into layoff mode, and maybe he was kind of like, all right, maybe I should step back.
Did you see what he said earlier yesterday about Luke Walton firing him? Or maybe it was 2 days ago? He hadn't even talked to him in
Oh,
weeks.
they haven't talked to each other in
Weeks.
weeks. Yeah, I saw that.
That's not good when the general manager
Yeah.
hasn't talked to the coach in weeks.
Yeah, that's a really interesting. You know, there's almost like this. It was an interesting question on the radio this morning, so I got two thoughts going in my head. So let me clarify. And they were asking two high-profile, big-time celebrities become general managers. Who did a worse job? Magic Johnson, Phil Jackson.
That's tough.
I don't know.
I'm definitely Phil Jackson.
I mean,
I,
I
I
think Magic
think Phil
Johnson
Jackson
really-
would probably, yeah.
Cause
Magic Johnson didn't have enough time. He signed LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Right. So Magic Johnson already gets a +2 because he signed LeBron.
and like
and
look
he
at where
drafted
the
some good players and,
and,
basically set up the franchise.
yeah,
So,
and like look at where the Knicks are right now. They're in a horrible position.
yeah.
No, because they're about to draft Zion, they're about to get KD
They
and
don't, are they even going to
Kyrie.
have the number one pick?
Don't forget LeBron.
I don't
and
know. I don't
Kawhi.
think they will,
I think the
honestly.
Suns are going to end up getting it.
Yeah.
Suns are pretty bad. Speaking of the Suns,
Well,
didn't we
the-
see
Yeah,
Jamal
if you were
Crawford
Zion,
last
would
night?
you want to go to the Suns?
No.
No. Did you see Jamal Crawford had 50 points last night?
He did.
That's crazy.
I think the Suns are better off with a pick like Ja Morant because they really need a true point guard to go along with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton.
I hope John Morant goes to the Bulls.
But you didn't answer my question. Other than you think Magic was a good GM, or
I
he
feel like
just was,
I
he
feel
just
like
was less bad than Phil Jackson.
he started off the season with some really good moves when he picked up Beasley and picked up Lance Stevenson, and of course they got LeBron, and but then once the AD stuff started happening,
but that really wasn't his
at that
fault.
point.
I
don't
know,
think.
but like once it dragged down for so long,
Yeah.
and like they're like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we
Yeah.
should make sure he should have just pulled out of
yeah,
that.
and also when he traded Avicii Zubac and Michael Beasley for Mike Muscala, who does nothing.
Like the package they were gonna give New Orleans, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like
But they would have had Anthony Davis for 2 years. I mean, they would have made the playoffs.
I know, but they don't, and that's
But
like,
if they would have,
it's all what ifs though.
and Anthony Davis would have ended up re-signing, probably, and they would have gotten another big free agent next year. This year,
Okay, but they could get Anthony Davis in the free agency and keep the pieces that they have with Lonzo, Ingram, and Kuzma.
But they don't. They can't get him this year in free agency. They have to wait till next summer.
Well,
right.
There's still more free agents, however, and it seems like a lot of them have made hints that they want to go to LA, and there's a potential in getting one of them. And if not, I'm sure LeBron will still be, an exceptional player by the time they can get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I would agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Jackson, you got the mess that he created by signing Noah to a 4-year
Joking
contract.
Noah.
And,
Yeah.
Didn't Carmelo play while Phil was there too?
yeah,
Wasn't
I mean,
he
it's
there
just-
for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where if it comes down, I don't think
Traded
either one of
I
them.
think he traded J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. And
Yeah, I don't think either one of them wants to be known for their general manager experience. They'd much rather be known as the coach and the player.
Yeah.
But I would agree that Phil Jackson did a much better job screwing up the Knicks
Yeah.
than Magic has for the Lakers. Although I'm still wondering. I'm still wondering what the Lakers are going to get this
I
summer.
know.
I think I think the feel, I mean, obviously they have an advantage because they're in LA. You know, if you're the general manager for the LA Lakers, you have an advantage over being general manager for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's just be honest. You have a built-in advantage. The problem is, you know, what's the draw other than the bright lights and LeBron? I mean, for some people that might be enough. For some guys, LeBron's going to shine too bright.
I think they need to sign a big name coach.
Big name coach?
I think they need a big name coach.
Think Phil Jackson's available?
I don't think they want Phil Jackson.
So the Lakers, just a little walk down, they are owned by Jeannie Marie Buss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who used to date Phil Jackson, right? Isn't that?
It doesn't say that here,
All
but
right. I don't know. Never mind.
the Lakers have 16 national champions,
Or 16 world champions?
16 world championships.
Yeah. Do they have more than the Celtics?
Celtics have
No.
17.
Yep, Celtics have more.
Okay. Thanks.
That's it.
Encyclopedia over there.
Boom. Just like that.
Interesting. Well, it's just interesting, and it's interesting to watch at the end of seasons like this, the changing of the guard. I think you guys, Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki. That was a great ceremony last night for Dirk. I don't know if you guys saw any of it.
Yeah, I did.
It was just, I mean, Charles Barkley just kills me.
Yeah.
I saw this 18-year-old, and I said, "Who is that?" he lit me up for 26 points in the first half.
How old is Dirk right now?
40, 30, yeah, like 40.
40 something.
years old.
He's only 40.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
40.
but that's pretty old for an NBA player.
Sure, and he started playing when he was
He
19.
looks old, too.
So
He's
he's
played like 21 seasons.
21 seasons
Yeah.
with the Dallas
That's
Mavericks.
crazy.
So would we consider Dirk going out on top?
No.
I don't know, he scored 30 last night in his final home game,
No.
including a dunk. Dirk had a dunk last night,
I saw it.
his second one of the year, for a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade dunked last night too. We can't forget
Well,
that.
Dwayne Wade
Dwayne
dunked
Wade-
quite a
Dwayne
bit during the
dunked quite a bit.
season. I think Dwayne Wade
Yeah.
had one of the best farewell seasons in
He's
a long
he's
time.
quite a bit younger than Dirk too. He's
Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
he's 37 compared to Dirk.
He had a
40.
pretty good final season, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dirk's a legend. I don't know if you'd say he's going out on top, but I think he's going out as still a very serviceable player.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
People still respect him. I mean, that's
Right.
the thing. And
It's not like he's doing what Vince Carter's doing. Well, Vince Carter, like what Vince Carter did last year, say. Because this year, Vince Carter's being
well, he's
more
remained
useful,
a starter,
but-
right? He's remained a starter all the way through. Did he start?
he's not a starter now.
Dirk, no, I don't think he
This
starts.
year he wasn't a starter.
No.
He was an all-star this year, so obviously he has
there you
to
go.
be-
Clearly,
Yeah,
Clearly,
but
he has to be
He
good.
played. Don't discredit the fact that he played 3 minutes in the All-Star game and had 9 points.
the Duke can still shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at this article, not that it means anything, of the most miserable fan bases in all of pro sports. This is
The
across
Mavericks have to be.
The New York
baseball,
Knicks.
basketball.
I might be on that list.
Well, it's my team.
Bills?
I will
Yeah,
give you
the
the
Bills.
first. I'll give you the first three. The Sacramento Kings are number one.
What?
I'm not surprised.
The most miserable sports misery index formula.
So they use some crazy
They
formula
use
to
some
figure
crazy
out.
formula. The number two are the San Diego Padres.
They just
But
signed
they got
Manny Machado.
They got Manny Machado. They're on their way.
I
They
would've-
can start making the rings up right now, right?
Yeah, well, they said that about Baltimore, too.
They're pretty miserable. Any guesses who number three is?
the Bills.
The Bills.
Brian,
The
yeah.
Buffalo Bills.
How are the Browns not up higher?
Because now they got
The Brown actually the Browns
Baker
are number
Mayfield.
5. The Browns
Who's
the
number 4?
Florida Panthers.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
So the Bills, it's just you
the
know
Sabres on in the top five.
No, not
The
top
Sabres
five.
go with the Bills.
Did you see Chris Davis? He did it, and he got the MLB record for.
Has he gotten a hit yet or no?
No, he got the
Oh.
MLB record for no hits for the
Okay.
longest time.
Wow.
This is the worst part about it. I was telling Johnny yesterday in class. In that span that he hasn't gotten a hit, there's been 74 hits by pitchers,
And at least 2 of them were home runs.
and at least 2 of them were home runs
Definitely
by
more.
pitchers.
That's crazy.
Now I get it; he's only one guy, so that number is kind of overblown in terms of his statistic. But still, 74 pitchers got hits.
Yeah.
And how much money did we say he's making this year?
He's making $20 million.
Too much?
$20 million. Because he had a couple great seasons.
Nicholas Batum still makes $4 million more.
All right, let me round out the rest of the top 10. Are you ready? For most miserable sports franchises, you had the Browns at 5, the Jets at 6,
All right.
the White Sox at 7, the Dolphins at 8, the Reds at 9, and number 10, the Buffalo Sabres.
The Sabres got two at the top. Do you notice that 3 of those 10 play in the AFC East with the Patriots? Is there a correlation there?
Yeah.
That your football teams are miserable because you have to play Belichick and Brady every year twice.
And that the road to the playoffs or anywhere goes through them.
Yes.
I think a little bit has to do with nobody wants to play in Buffalo, really. The big name players.
I don't know if that's true.
I kind of agree,
Miami,
but
I don't get why the big name players don't want to play in Miami. I mean, you see the other sports, the big name players want to play.
Well, they want to play. They want to play in the South. They want to play in big cities.
Yeah,
I agree.
So Miami, would you think
a little bit
place
with John, but
nah.
I think the tides are kind of changing a little bit, especially now that we've actually been talking to bigger names. Speaking of that, did you see Antonio Brown go after Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, what was that all about?
That was ridiculous.
I didn't see what he was saying, but I read a thing about it. And he was basically just
he got the MVP from the Steelers.
Right, got the Steelers
and
MVP.
Antonio Brown, he retweeted. He's like, he's basically like, how could you give it to him when he fumbles all year and blah blah blah. Just
he fumbled in the big game, right?
Yeah, and
he literally had one bad play the entire. I mean,
like,
one notable bad play the entire
Juju was
season.
like, I mean, he looked up to that guy. That was like his
Right.
his go-to when he got into the league, and then he just goes behind his back
and crushes him.
I'd rather have Juju Smith-Schuster on my team, like building a franchise, than Antonio Brown.
Juju Smith-Schuster is a crazy good player.
Is it fair to say though that Juju Smith-Schuster got what he got to a certain extent because he was on the opposite side from Antonio Brown? Is that fair to say that Brown is taking some of the pressure off? And so it'll be interesting for me to see, does Juju respond the exact same way next year without Brown on the other side?
I think he might do even better. I mean,
I think he will too,
because
he'll get more targets.
Plus, he's been.
But he'll be doubled now instead of Brown.
I think he can do it though.
I think so too, and he kind of had a pedestal to be on, playing with Antonio Brown, trying to live up to how good Antonio Brown was.
Even like midway, late through the season, like 3/4 of the way through the season, you could start to see him already transitioning to the one receiver for the team, and getting like you were seeing the more high profile, better corners guarding him, not Antonio Brown. So.
Right. Huh. I wondered.
I just couldn't believe it when I saw that.
Social media stuff. It's just silly.
And Antonio Brown has a little bit of a problem with that social media stuff.
Like, what was the point? Like, why?
Why? What is the point of anything Antonio Brown has done on his way out of the Steelers? Like, let's be honest. You could just go away nicely.
I saw that, and I was going to bring it up today.
John Manziel.
It's John Manziel now, just so you know.
Oh.
It's no longer Johnny Manziel. It's John Football.
John Football.
Johnny sounds too childish. He's grown up.
He's
now.
grown up.
He's
He's grown up. He's ready to take that leap.
It's like a lot of us, right? You tell guys, listen, when you get to be 15 years old,
it's not Will anymore. It's Bill.
That's it. It's not little Billy anymore. It's
Little
Bill.
Yeah, like the coach of the Wellsville High School, right? It's
Ramey?
Ray. It's Ray.
Does he go by Ray?
No, not at all. He goes by Ramey.
Ramey.
Yeah, Ramey.
So
Ray's is dead.
Shout out to
Wellsville Lions.
So who wins
Section 5 champions.
in the throwing competition? Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, I want to see this. What do they
that
say?
happening?
Josh Allen can throw it over a mountain, and Mahomes wants to do it too, or something.
Did you see Mahomes was at the game, at the Final Four game?
Yeah, he
I
was.
saw that. Yeah.
Doing a little shake and bake up in the stadium.
We were waiting for him to jump out,
for
right?
him to jump out.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk
Throw
about
a
that game.
touchdown
That was
pass.
actually a pretty good basketball game.
Yeah.
I speaking objectively, not speaking from the standpoint of three people who don't really like college basketball but like specific college basketball teams. It really wasn't bad from the beginning to the end. You had runs here and there. The first half was a little bit low scoring, but everybody expected that.
Yeah.
But they got to what? I mean, the the over-under number was blown away, right, in terms of what they thought they were going to score for it.
Overtime will do that, though.
Yeah, overtime helps, but I think they were over even before the overtime.
Probably.
Now, interesting. I heard about it on the radio, and I haven't had a chance to go back and look. Was there an out-of-bounds call right near the end? Did anybody see the end? Did you watch the whole thing, Brock? Did you see the end of it?
Yeah, I saw the end, but
Was there
I don't
was there
recall.
an out-of-bounds call right before the end of overtime, right before the double dribble that they botched, where they were talking about a review where the Virginia guy obviously hit it out of bounds, but they broke it down to a single frame and said that the Texas Tech guy's pinky was still on the ball
Oh yeah.
after the Virginia guy clearly knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah. Well,
And so they gave it back to Virginia or something like
well,
that.
Yeah. Well, what they said about that play was that if it's not undisputable, then they can't switch. Then they can't switch the original call.
Right.
Which it wasn't. They didn't have enough camera angles to perfectly see.
Right.
Really. And so it did. To me, it looked like it did hit the player's hand when it was going out,
Oh, okay.
and it should have been the other team's ball. But
Okay.
But with their logic and the way that they go by the rules, if it's not undisputable, they can't change the call. Which I feel like I can agree with, because you could say that was a debatable call even with the slow motion.
Right. Right. Does breaking it down to slow motion, does that ruin the feel of the game
No.
for anybody else
No.
other than me?
No.
It drives me crazy because I've always thought that instant replay was to fix any blatant mistakes. That kind of idea. But if you have to break it down to frame by frame by frame, that makes no sense to me. That's not really what a normal thing would do.
I don't think that's
I-
what they put it in for. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not
it
really
was
what it
just
was
to get
intended
the
for.
most accurate call no matter
Yeah.
what, in my opinion. And I think if
Yeah.
that's what they have to do, then they should.
No,
because
I think that's not
See,
what they should do.
I would love to see. I don't mind instant replay if you think somebody made a mistake. That
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see replay done at the same speed as the original play. And if you can tell by the replay at the same speed as the original play, don't speed it up, don't slow it down. Same speed. And if doing that same speed, you can reverse it, well then reverse it. But the fact that you're doing like minute thing, because legitimately you could do that on every play, and we could be here for days watching one game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's why
I think
it's
the
only
only
like the
sport
final
where it's
minutes.
not getting out of hand
Right,
is baseball.
right. But if you make a call, at the end of the first half, that's swings the momentum or whatever. That's still a huge play.
I feel like from a fan perspective, it can really like bring up the suspense of the game. Like make you more interested in who's gonna get, like whose ball is it, coming down the stretch when it's a 3-point game.
Unless you hit one at the buzzer, but you're not sure if you got it off, and you have to wait 5 minutes to figure out whether you just won or lost the game.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying.
Yeah. But
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like,
That's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
I don't like how long it takes to do replays. That just drives me
These
crazy.
guys grew up with replays, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we were,
the only sports that they've really recently implemented it in is soccer and baseball. and it's,
VAR.
funny you
right?
say that. I was just gonna. Is there,
Soccer,
I
it's
mean,
not
what
even-
do they replay in soccer?
Goal
Penalties.
offsides,
Goal line.
penalties,
Offsides.
potential
Okay.
handballs, potential red cards, like obvious
go like
missed
this.
red cards. Yeah.
Going to the box.
Yesterday in the Champions League game, VAR gave 2 penalties, I believe. No, 1 penalty for a game, and they ended up saving it. But it was like they take so long to do it because they're reviewing to see if the guy got a handball, and it's a handball that never would have gotten called before. And now it's just all of a sudden called because the guy slides in and it hits him in the hand on accident while he's slide tackling in through to block the ball. And
His hands weren't up; they were down.
sometimes even when they're up, sometimes the guys slide with their hands like back, and sometimes it still hits them in the arms, and they still give the penalty because they say it's not right. But
Right, and
that's
I don't
just
know
how they
enough about
slide.
soccer, but I've heard officials say the ball hit him, he didn't hit the ball. Like there's a difference there.
It's
They're
always taught to
clarifying
say
the rules this summer.
Ball to hand instead of hand to ball. Like you didn't reach your hand out to stop it. You had your hand up and it hit it.
But if my hands are out here and it just hit my hands, that's clearly a handball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, if I'm standing in the middle of the 18,
Yeah,
going
yeah.
like this.
The new thing they've been using
I didn't
is,
try to hit it. I just was moving, and
the
it
new
hit my
thing they've
hand.
been saying is natural position and intent. Like if they think it's in unnatural position or there was an intent to hit it, then they give a penalty. But
Did you hear what Bruce Pearl said about the game? You know, the semifinal.
Mhm.
You know, where Auburn and that whole mess, the double dribble, etc., whatever. He had one quick comment. Get over it. There you go. It's over. Nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. You can't go back.
it's like the Saints dragging out that call for weeks, and like didn't they try and sue like
Yeah. No, I don't think the
Or the
Saints did.
fans.
Some of the fans
Like-
did.
the fans are suing the NFL because that makes so much sense. They're watching the game on TV, so they think it's a good idea to
It's
sue
a
the NFL.
loss of their enjoyment. You have to pay for their pain and suffering, man.
It's so dumb.
Only if you're in New Orleans.
But Virginia, pretty interesting story, right? They go from getting knocked out of the first round.
Yeah, who was it to beat him in the first round?
UMBC,
Loyola, yeah.
Loyola?
Loyola.
UMBC,
Yeah.
not Loyola.
Sister of.
Oh, is it?
No, it was UMBC.
University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
There you go.
Yep.
That basketball powerhouse.
Yeah.
Actually, they are a powerhouse in their conference.
So it was funny
Still.
that they, they had their fan. I was just watching a clip where they said last year Virginia needed police protection from the fans when they returned.
When they return to campus.
Yeah, and this year they also needed police protection, but just for a different reason.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. 1 year and 23 days apart.
Yeah.
So I wonder, ranking all 81 national championship teams.
I looked at that.
Yeah.
I had no idea who the San Francisco Dons were
San Francisco Dons were amazing back in the day.
when Bill Russell played with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was at San Francisco. Was that the year?
Are they even D1 anymore?
They are. They are. They play out with Santa Clara
Oh,
out in that group out there.
okay.
You had to go
Yeah.
down to like number 12 to get to a Duke team.
Number 12? I don't know.
Maybe it was even further than that.
They're 15, the 92 Duke team.
92,
Christian League.
the shot that never should have happened.
Yeah. But that's a heck of a shot. Kentucky, the last great game. All right. I'll see if you guys know any of these guys. Top 10 national champions. NC State.